In this video, we are going to discuss another topic of data cleaning, and this is a vital one. Here we are going to discuss about missing datas and how to treat them using Pandas module. So this video explains us how to identify a missing data with Pandas and how to handle them. So obviously, we are going to work with the data. So the module that we are going to use is Pandas module. So import the Pandas module using this command. Now I'm going to create a data for us and we are going to check this data. So here I have created a data which has 4 columns A, B, C, D, and A contains text which is string data into it, B contains numerical data into it, C column contains Boolean data, and D contains date time data. If I execute it, then you can see A has our textual data, B has all the numbers that has been created. So we have 20 altogether observation, and C has booleans and D has all of its is date time. Now for this video we are going to learn about missing the data, but at this time can you see any field that has been missing? No, all of them are present. Here D has all of its data that is present, A also, there is no missing on any of the field. Now intentionally I will add some entries to create missing data. So none here means not available data. So none can be different for different data types. In the case of string data type, this none might represent none itself. So none will be none for string. Now in the case of numbers, the none will be NA, not available numbers. Similarly, I will show you right here. So after I added intentionally none to different field, so can you see here in the first field I added none, so I got none here. So you can create this location. If you do not know about this location, then ilug command contains first the row number and then after comma and the column number. So row number is this row number, see here, so row number, and the column is this one. So for instance, for this one, let's say, so I'm adding the none in the second row, third column. So I'm adding the none in second row. So second row is this one, second row and third column. So third column here 3 means because the index starts from 0, so this is 0, 1, 2 and 3. So that means I'm adding right here. So that is the reason you can see NAT. Since this is the date time field, NAT means not available time, and here it is a boolean. NaN is given, not a number, and NaN is also not available number. In the case of string, it is none itself. So intentionally I have added these things to show you how to handle these missing data, because you can see this NAT and this NaN, this means they are not available. So NA represents not available. So not available means they are not available. So you have to handle them before applying this data for some analysis. So now I intentionally added it, but in the real world scenario, this might be the case. You will have some missing data. Now let us see how to identify a missing data. There is a function. This is a very popular function, which is isNA function, and this will identify those NA's value, that is none values that we intentionally added over here. It will identify it, and if it is a NA value, it will return us a true. If it is not, then it will return us a false. So see here, for some value, let us check for this one. So it is true. So ninth index observation, and C is the column, has the value true. So that means this field represents the non-values. Let us check on our two data. So ninth and C is the column. So see here, none. So if NA is found, it will return us a true. If NA is not, that is on that observation, it will return us a false. So this is false, means it is not a NA. There is some data available, it is not missing data. So NA here means not available. So is NA means is not available. So we are checking if it is available or not. So if it is not available or not, if it is available, it will return false. If it is not available, it will return true. So here you can see at multiple instances we have true. So here we have this true, here we have a true. So true means this position on our data has non-values. Now to find how many nones are there for each columns, we can call this sum function. And if I call this sum function, then the column A contains 3 non-values. Let us check it. So the column A contains 3 non-values, the first one, second one, and the third one. So sum method is important to count the number of missing values in each column. So remember this will be important. And this function is also important, is NA function. Now if you want to find if any row contains the non-values or NA values or not, for that we can use this any function. Now it doesn't really matter if you have 1 NA values or 2 NA values or more, it is going to give us a true. So for instance, in the 0th observation we have 1 non-values. So for 0th observation this will be true. See here, true. Now let's see for the 3rd observation, it is false. So false means on the entire row we don't have non-values. Let us check it. So on the 3rd column, see here, entire row contains all those data. It is non-present at each of this field. So see here, none is not present, or not available data is not present, rather it contains all the data. So that was the reason we got false. So in this way, using any, we can check if a row contains a non-values or not. Now using this, we can also access a particular column. For example, let us say that in the column A I have some text and I have these missing values. See here, A was the case where I removed those non-values. In any missing values, only the true part has been gathered. Now what if I do something like this? So let us execute from the top all the code. So after we got the sum, we have this missing, and I'll get this one. Then you can see for the first observation we have none, the second observation is also none, and 10th is also none for A. So basically I am only getting the column A. So in the column A you can see and cross check it. So first is none, second is none, and we have in the 10th none. So first none, second none, and in the 10th is also none. Now if you want to fill this none with some value, let us say I want to fill these non-values with some values, then what I can do, I can just call here fill NA function. and give the value that you want to fill with. Let's say I want to fill these non-values, which is right here, none, none, and none. So these three nonce value, I want to fill it with 0. Then if I run it, then you can see those none are no longer none, they have become 0. Similarly, I can also give any number to it instead of 0. I can say that I want to give 12 to it, then it will work as it is. So see here, none has been replaced by 12. Let us say that I want to give the mean value of it, then it is going to do that. If you want to impute the median, you can also give that values. You can give any values that can be replaced, but make sure that the values that you give make sense for that particular column. Because you can see here, the column A was in fact a text data, but giving the number over here, filling up with the number, it doesn't make sense. Rather than you just created another problem of data type mismatch. So instead of giving these numerical values, since A is a string, I can fill up with a string value. Maybe I can just pass here text. Now see here, all of it has become text. Even the non-values has been converted to the text data. So in this way, we can use this fill NA function to fill those non-values. So remember these two functions. Is NA is to check if we have a NA values or non-values or empty values. You can say anything. NA means none or empty. So to check it, we use isNA function. To get the sum of all the NAs we have for each columns, we use sum function. And similarly, we can fill our NA values with something using fill NA functions. So that is all to handle the missing data and to identify them. This is very important method, and we are going to use this while creating our project.